Hello. If you're watching this video, you are enrolled in BIOB 161 at the University of Montana. And hello, my name is Katie Hollick. I am the faculty member that oversees this course during the summertime. This is a pretty unique situation. 160 and 161 are both offered online. To a certain point, they are slightly asynchronous, but we'll talk about what that means a little bit more moving forward. So today I'd just like to walk you through some of the important information that will help you succeed in this course. So the first thing is that I would suggest that you find our Canvas page. So our Canvas page is shown here, as you can see on my screen. This is in student view, so this is what you'll be seeing as you enroll into this course. So, um, as I said before, my name is Dr. Katie Hollick. If we click on the syllabus for summer 2025, we can quickly start to see some of the structure of this course and how you'll be evaluated. Now, this is interesting because it's a lab course, but this lab course is administered completely remotely, meaning that you will be purchasing a lab kit from a third party called Science Interactive and having it shipped directly to your house and completing these labs within your own home space. Now, we'll talk more about Science Interactive moving forward. I'm just going to quickly pull the syllabus over here so we can view the syllabus. Probably should just switch over to this. And again, this is BioB 161, the Principles of Living Systems Laboratory. So as I said before, my name is Katie Hollick. You can reach me at katie.hollick@umt.edu. Just make sure it's at katie.hollick@umt.edu. I don't get emails at my UMontana account. So office hours can be as frequently as you need them. I'm happy to meet you over Zoom or in person, kind of just depending on what you prefer. The general course information is this is a companion course to our BioB 160 companion course that I'm also teaching this summer online. So if you're taking both courses, you'll see a lot of me. This is generally a broad survey course, and so many of the laboratory assignments will also be complementing kind of that broad survey approach to biology. Hopefully, by the end of this, you'll have some appreciation for the basics of biology, including molecular biology, genetics, and evolution. Now, we'll also be striving to gain an appreciation for how science works, how the scientific method helps increase our understanding of biology. Hopefully, some biological concepts will also be discovered along the way, and then how biological systems maintain homeostasis, and then also looking at some critical thinking skills to predict the consequences of homeostatic imbalances. These are more specifically our learning outcomes. And again, you can go through and read each one of these. They're basically related to, the natural systems of life and understanding the growth and evolution of them. Now, in terms of our course information, we'll be specifically focused on laboratory assignments, and you're going to be expected to read the pre-laboratory assignments and complete them prior to the labs. Now, in terms of kind of course execution, we'll be administering this course almost entirely through the Science Interactive website. So if you are coming to our Canvas page and you go home, you will see that again, this contains kind of minimal information here. We do have our syllabus. We also have our Science Interactive information. If you click on Science Interactive information, this is the same information that I shared in the email that I sent out. This is the enrollment link. Make sure if you're using that enrollment link, you're only using it the one time once you enroll in the course. Now, once you're enrolled in the course, you can use this bookmarked login here to go back and to revisit the course. And then if you have questions about ordering your kit, as well as any additional questions regarding Science Interactive, that information is shown here. Now, the kit is a required component to this course. Hopefully, many of you have ordered this. I've seen many of you have already enrolled on Science Interactive. We'll look at Science Interactive more here in a second. Now, I'm kind of jumping around a little bit, but let's go back to our syllabus. Now, for our syllabus, again, the Science Interactive is required for this course, and you'll require a computer to be able to access Science Interactive. This is just a little bit more of the course policies in terms of class attendance, which again, this is essentially asynchronous, so we don't have to worry too much about that. Hopefully in these laboratory activities, you'll learn about good note-taking habits. Just recognize any missing laboratories cannot be made up Each student is agreeing to conduct the at-home laboratories using the appropriate safety precautions. Safety is of the utmost importance. Since I won't be able to be there and tell you if you're being safe or unsafe, please make sure that you're following those precautions that are outlined in the safety procedures. Just make sure, again, you're taking care of yourself and those around you. So if you have kids or pets, it's important that you don't complete these assignments where they have access to them, just because, again, some of them might have materials that you should be not exposing everyone to. This laboratory safety, again, exercises away from animals and children, wear the appropriate PPE or the personal protective equipment. Make sure that you are also wearing closed-toed shoes, pants, and lab coats if required. Contact lenses where should be aware that chemical fumes can pass into gas and permeate those soft lenses. So please make sure if you're requested to wear eye protection that you do so. Make sure, since you might be completing these in your kitchen, that you're keeping it separate from food, drinks, or gum. And then make sure you're just washing your hands after you complete those lab exercises. Now, in terms of your evaluation methods, again, all of this will be administered over Science Interactive, and this is our overall schedule. Now, if you have not ordered your kit yet, that's okay, but I would recommend doing it as soon as possible, just because sometimes it can take between 1 to 3 weeks for these kits to ship, and I want to make sure you have plenty of time to complete these assignments. Now, with that being said, week 1, you have no kit required for the assignments that are requiring completion upon kit 1. All for week 1, you'll do all of the labs, getting started, general lab safety, introduction to the microscope. All of those labs do not require a kit for completion, so you can do those while you're waiting for your kit to arrive. Now, week 2, just choose 2 of the 3 labs. So you've got the scientific method, math and graphing prep, or cell membrane transport. So just choose 2 of the 3 possible labs and complete those. For week 3, you'll do both enzymes and respiration. Week 4, you'll choose to do labs on cells, DNA, or energy and photosynthesis. And week 5, you'll be doing both Mendelian genetics and population genetics. So as I said before, all of these will be done over Science Interactive. So let's go ahead and pull on over here. So if you go back to our Canvas page, I've created a login here that says Science Interactive Login. So you click on that and it will automatically open up the Science Interactive in a new space. So that should send you directly to where you need to go. So if you bookmark that, you can just click on it every time and immediately go into where you need to be. Now for the lessons, you can see here, for week 1, we have the getting started lab safety using the V-scope and the lab kit inventory. These will be your required assignments for week 1. So if we go back over here, we've got getting started, lab safety, and introduction to the microscope. So you can see those are prerequisites. These top 3 are prerequisites to open up the rest of the lessons. Now from there, you'll be able to choose which lessons you complete upon which time. Now, please make sure that you're completing these in a timely manner. Do not put this off until the last week of class. 5 weeks will go very, very quick. So please make sure you're staying on top of these labs as you complete them. Now you'll see that each one of these labs is broken down into exploration, experimentation, and evaluation pieces. So if we click on, for example, the photosynthesis, you can see again, exploration, exercise, and evaluation. So if you elect to, let's say, do the photosynthesis lab, make sure you're completing all 4 of these components all the way to the end. So as I said before, this is kind of unique. Now, the only other thing that I would say is really important is once you have purchased or have logged in and have purchased your kit, wait for that kit to arrive. There's a activation code that's provided in your kit, so please make sure you're holding on to that to enter into the site once it has arrived. If you are an individual who is requesting financial aid for the covering of the cost of the kit, please make sure that you have sent me an email. So far I've identified 3 people who are requesting financial aid to cover the cost of the kit, which means they will have to purchase it through the bookstore. I've started the process of getting the kit through the bookstore, but there might be some delay in getting those kits. So If you are one of those individuals, I will have additional information for you. You hopefully should be able to start and complete week one activities. Getting your kit might be a slightly delayed, and we can talk about some ways to mitigate the impact that that might have on you directly. So if we go back, this is again our Science Interactive website. You'll be a very comfortable with this hopefully by the time of the end of the semester. But if you have any questions about this, always feel free to reach out to me, or you can also reach out with the Science Interactive group, depending on kind of the type of question. If you feel like it would be more helpful for me to come in and intercede, or if you feel like interacting with the Science Interactive people directly might be the best bet. Now, as I said before, Science Interactive, that website will be the one that you use primarily to execute the requirements for this course. For week one, you can see here, there's going to be just this informational video that I'm giving you right now will be posted here. You have intro time and materials that gives you some sense of how long it takes to complete each one of the activities. The required assignments, this is just telling you that you need to fulfill your safety contract, turn it in here. If you would like to introduce yourself to the class, you can complete student introductions as well. And lastly, because this is kind of a unique way to go through a lab, what questions do you have about the labs this week, or what questions do you have in general? Because we are doing this all remotely and I don't get an opportunity to interact with all of you all the time, it's probably best to keep those lines of communication open. So send me emails or post questions that you have to this. I'll be checking this discussion board each day. Also, keep in mind that since almost all of the assignments are going to be administered through Science Interactive, every subsequent week basically just has a module summary, but then the questions discussion areas are also listed here for each week. So I just wanted to pull it out. So if you have, let's say, a problem with a lab in week 3, then you can go specifically to week 3's discussion board and post there. If you're having an issue, most likely some of your classmates are also having issues. So it's nice to be able to maybe troubleshoot each other's problems. And like I said, I'll also be keeping my eye on those discussion boards each week to make sure that there's not any recurring questions or themes. And if there is something that needs to be addressed, I'll probably make a video regarding that and post it or send it out in an email to make sure that you feel comfortable with, again, succeeding in this course. So keep in mind here, the purpose of this class is for you to learn a lot about science, to do some science experimentation, possibly in your own home, and to make this hopefully as easy as possible. So if there's anything I can do to help you along this journey, please feel free to reach out. I'm happy to answer questions. Getting the kits, getting started, like that's very important. So if this is kind of your first day in the class and you haven't gotten information about the kit, please, please, please reach out sooner rather than later and let's get that figured out. Otherwise, I hope you are all having a wonderful Monday. Happy summer session. I hope this is a wonderful time for you. And I hope, yeah, if you need anything else, just let me know.